What's going on, everybody? Lloyd Jones with Midnightcomics here, and welcome to the Indie Verses. We finally have entered that phase from the indie breakdown phase. We broke down your favorite indie comic book characters, power, stats, and abilities. And again, now we're at the point where we're talking about Indie Verses, putting them all together. And so we had that cast of creators. This is the first ever creator clash, if you would, as part of this Indie Verses. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bring each one of them out. We're going to allow them to introduce themselves. And then we'll talk about who they can defeat. And in case you guys haven't had an opportunity to check out any of the indie breakdowns, we prepared some shorts for you so that you can be abreast on everything in regards to that character, so that you guys can make that determination here live as well. And so, without further ado, first up, we're going to bring up, well, I'm going to let him introduce himself. Go ahead. Bring him in. What's going on, everybody? I see y'all in the comments. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And there he is. Let's get it.
What's up, man? Appreciate you having me on the show.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. Thanks for welcome back, by the way. Our first ever person on Indie Breakdown, but let him know who are you and what you got.
So I am Vaughn from Millennial-Comics, creator of the comic book series Delta Dogs. And that is a series about 7 cousins gaining superpowers. And next thing you know, they get trapped up in a gang war where they have to deal with a mad scientist, a secret military unit, and also they have to get ready for the next test exam. So it's a whole lot of action.
Okay, bring the next one in. Okay, yeah, bro.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Yo,
what's going on, boss?
Yeah, my name is Jamil Lessie. I'm the writer and the creator of Absolver, Concrete Comics, and I'm here just to have fun.
You was keeping it tame this time. Okay, that was good. That was good. He said he was gonna be humble this time. All right, last but not least, let's go.
Yo, what up, man? It's your boy. Yeah. It's your boy Lonzo Starr, CEO and founder of Concrete Comics, writer and creator of the legendary Akolyte. I'm here just to make sure Jamil doesn't do anything crazy. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a problem with him, I'll be there to, So,
yeah. Fair enough. So everybody's here so far. There are some other contestants here, but we'll speak on them in just a moment. We're gonna wrap around to Vaughn. He's gonna let us know who he thinks the Delta Dogs can defeat in this lineup of indie characters. Who do you got, bro?
Man, I got the full squad on me, with Delta Dogs, 7 cousins, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't trying to really get Akolyte. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even trying to fight dude like that, but I know we could jump Black Bow, goddamn.
Jump Black Bow, okay.
That's all I'm gonna say right there.
Powerless citizen to symbol of hope for Nickel City. Black Bow vows to end the corruption of his city and sets his sights on ending corruption in the world as a whole with the ancient powers anew. So Black Bow in base is at peak physical strength. When he taps into the powers of anew, his strength is taken up tenfold. He has superhuman accuracy and is able to add power to his arrows, causing them to explode on impact. His arsenal includes smoke arrows, sonic arrows, EMP arrows, and much more. Pair this with his ability to apply anew to them, makes his arsenal extremely dangerous. So, Black Bow's speed, he was seen perceiving bullets being fired and ran fast enough to defend a bystander in its trajectory and was able to deflect those same bullets with his bow without being hit by the oncoming fire. Durability-wise, Black Bow was unmoved by an explosion that happened a few feet in front of him, an explosion that sent several cars nearby in that same vicinity, flying into the air. It said that with the help of anew, he has a healing factor as well. So, the man who communes with the ancients, the practitioner of anew, Nickel City's symbol of hope, Black Bow, rises. Let us know who you think can stand up to this character in the indie verses.
You can cut that piece. There we go. Thank you. Yo. Okay. So, while you're formulating with that information,
That's a lot of fire.
Listen. Okay. So, while you're formulating how the Delta Dogs can possibly defeat Black Bow, let's get Absolver. Who you got?
I'm going to go after Akolyte because it seems like everybody's going to be scared of him. So, I humbly say I don't see nobody else. Akolyte will be Absolver's biggest challenge.
Okay.
So,
You know what to do, love.
Akolyte, the descendant of a being known as an infinite supreme, an entity said to exist since the birth of the universes. Akolyte wields the Kokoro force that allows him to pull energy from dark matter. After completing his Nylosian training with King Kalon, Akolyte, before receiving the Kokoro Force, is said to be at peak human physique, being compared to super soldier levels of strength. Even learning Nylosian martial arts, which has been compared as the combination of all martial arts known to man wrapped into one art. Following his training with Abner, Akolyte is able to tap into the forces of the Kokoro will, unlocking the strength to punch a moon out of its orbit around a planet. This feat was done when he first unlocked his ability before he completed his training, and it's said that following his training, he is leagues above that level of strength. All of this was just in issue 1, with the rest of the issues taking place around a decade later following his consistent training with Abner. At light speed, it would take 200,000 years to cross the Milky Way. Akolyte can do it in 2 days. Akolyte in the most recent issue is seen moving so fast that he was leaving behind after images throwing off advanced alien targeting systems. Pair this with his attack speed feat shown when he decimated 6 alien spaceships simultaneously. He's able to casually create shields to protect a mini-star, and even remarking that he's made shields bigger than this. This shield was able to withstand a barrage of weapons fire from Xeno warships. He's able to use the Kokoro force to sense he's being watched, and even revealed a cloaked spaceship. His energy blast that he can shoot from his hands and eyes can vary in strength based on the amount of dark matter he draws in via the Kokoro force, the upper limits of which are yet to be seen. At this point in the series, we've seen that with the powers of the Kokoro, Akolyte is able to be knocked down, but he has never sustained any damage, having contended with the Children of Chaos and alien task force that consists of the strongest members of their respective home worlds, and even able to withstand blasts from a Therian warship. It's also rumored that the Son of the Supreme can even withstand black holes, giving him near infinite durability. All of this, and the Son of the Supreme, the man-turned-god, the Moonwalker Akolyte, hasn't even scratched the surface of his abilities. All right, let us know.
Lord have mercy.
It's looking a little rough, Absolver. It's looking a little rough, but we know we you got something up your sleeve that maybe can counter this. We'll talk about it in a second. Akolyte, Lonzo, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna just take season 1, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take the whole season 1, man. I want them all. Nah. Let me. I think. Let's take a scenario of unpowered Akolyte versus homeless homeboy. Just base level, chilling in the city, doing what he do, trying to get a pizza. You know what I'm saying?
Fateful encounter with the man known as the Ancient Unknown, Terrence Rivers is granted with the power to become the protector of the forgotten, a hero known as Homeless Homeboy. Homeless Homeboy is trained by the Ancient Unknown in order to fully utilize his new abilities. He gains professional fighting skills while also unlocking abilities like the Fog Screen, Spirit Force, and Flight. Homeless Homeboy is strong enough to survive strike buildings and could dish out strikes just as strong as seen with his battle with the Drunken Assassin. The Homeless Homeboy utilizes a spiritual force that allows him to sense the people around him as fire off a shockwave that pushes back anyone and anything in his immediate vicinity. Let us know who you think can stand up to this character in any verses, and check out the interview with.
So, this is our 3 matches so far then. So we got Delta Dogs versus Black Bow. You said jumping. Tell me, after what we know about the powers of Anu and all that other stuff, how are the Delta Dogs dropping your boy Black Bow? Now, he's been in the game a lot longer. I just want to throw that out there. He's been in the game for a while.
I mean,
what's Delta Dogs doing?
The oldest cousin, Quan, which, aka Alpha, he has the shadow manipulation and stuff like that. But the thing is, when it comes to any shadow that's around him, including Black Bow, he can connect to every single shadow to create, just a network of different shadows where he can also understand exactly where everything is at. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a radio system where he can basically just, again, he'll feel exactly where everybody is at. So, and also he has his intellect. He's street smart. So he knows how people are, you know what I'm saying, just by seeing them move, seeing them talk and stuff like that. So, you know, he can kind of feel them out of like how he is, how powerful he is. If he's really that powerful like that, he'll back away and try to come up with a plan. He's not a person to just rush into stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The only way he could probably do that is maybe if he has some type of personal vendetta, but you know, he don't know Black Bolt like that.
Okay.
Yep. So
let me say this then in regards to that, because you know, Black Bolt's not here at the moment for this bit, but so we, you know, he's got his issue 1, which there's the slight disadvantage, but this is where kind of the fun is and the creativity starts to come in. Although we only saw him in issue 1, in regards to his durability, as we stated, like, is there anybody in there that's going to be able to dish out anything that's going to be able to move him, right? Because in his issue 1, an explosion happened, and the distance was like 2 arms lengths, and the cars are sent flying everywhere, and there's not a scratch on him. He doesn't get blown back or anything of that nature. Do you have anybody, or does anybody have any type of move or anything that's going to be able to basically move him or have enough force to impact him or anything?
Kilo. All he has to do, you know, he has mass manipulation to a certain level. All he has to do is create a weak spot on his body by making them light. When you make things light, they basically like kind of the molecules basically kind of spread apart a little bit. So he can create a weak spot on him by making them very light, and then that'll be able to, you know what I'm saying, just a solid punch will be able to get him.
Okay, so let me say this really quick then, and then we'll get ready to move on to the other ones, because this is really good. So in regards to Black Bolt, you know, throwing a scenario out here, this might sound slightly familiar to you, but you know, imagine Black Bolt pops up in the Delta Dog City, right? You know, you know, in his story, he's killing people, right? So he killed somebody in the you know, somewhere in the city, in an alleyway or what have you, and the Delta Dogs run up on him. What is their first move, and how do they contain him and knock him out?
Okay. First things first. He's in a dark alley, so there has to be a bunch of shadows. Quan will probably take the lead, sneak up on him because shadows doesn't make a sound. He'll sneak up on him, blindside, connect all the shadows where they restrain him. Kilo pull up, make a weak spot, make him very light, and then Lil B, you know, he has an ability as well where he can absorb certain liquids and stuff like that, where he can shoot them out from his fingertips as like steam, and he can either put them to sleep with you know, by mixing in what is it, anesthesia, it's the medicine that basically make you sleepy. He can mix that in with his steam bullet, shoot him up there on his face to knock him out, or again just knock him out with Kilo using his making a weak point on him. So you know, there's plenty of ways.
Okay. Yeah. So I did you a disservice just now. I did do you a disservice. I didn't play the video of your characters. I apologize. Run that really quick, Love, so that everybody can see everything that the Delta Dogs should do.
Word. Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, everybody, Lord Midnightcomics here, bringing you the breakdown short. This time, we're talking about the Delta Dogs, 7 superpower cousins who got their powers from a mysterious green entity and find themselves entangled in a gang war. Though most have the durability, speed, and strength of the average human, their powers give them the necessary edge to make this group of teens a force to be reckoned with. First up, we've got Quan, a.k.a. the Alpha Leader. With his shadow manipulation abilities, he's able to mold his shadow into different shapes, using it to create a shield, able to withstand gunfire, leap tall distances, and even shape it into a humanoid form to attack his opponents. Mike, aka Kilo, can change the density of himself and anything he touches, allowing him to jump up tall buildings and off of them without causing damage, even changing the density of crates and vehicles with no struggle. Next up, we've got Little B, aka One Lung. He is able to radiate varying levels of steam from his body, and he has used this ability to burn guns out of people's hands and fire steam strong enough to launch someone into the air and pin someone else into a tree. He has also used this ability as a smokescreen to help get away. Josh, aka Trio, is able to make 2 clones of himself. When he absorbs them, he's able to move at an accelerated rate, usually moving faster than most people can keep up with. This ability actually serves as a type of healing factor as well for him. Next, we've got Kenny, aka Zig. He's able to turn into electricity as fast enough to easily catch a speeding vehicle, able to create at least 7 sentient constructs of electricity, and has an uncontrollable ability to send people to a different dimension. Next, we have Curtis. He's able to grow crystals out of his body. He can wear it like armor and shoot it like projectiles, or where he usually you see him wearing it as gauntlets. And last but not least, we have Vaughn. With his wind manipulation abilities, he's able to shake the entirety of a building with a single punch, breaking down a steel door and sending the henchmen of the gang that were fighting flying with that same punch. All right, let us know who you.
So honestly, with all of that, and anybody that's watching as well, like I can definitely agree with the fact that Delta Dogs is coming out on top in this fight against Black Bolt. There's not a lot that he can really do, in my opinion, against 7 people. Again, the experience could be a problem, but I think the only weakness that I see with them now, granted, I might have a bit of an outdated. I'm up to issue 16, but I know early on for them, like they were so concerned if one got hurt, and I could see like the plan kind of falling apart if, like, say, Vanilla or Curtis get caught up in an attack, and it's like, oh no, and then formation's broken or whatever like that. But outside of that, I don't see a real.
I don't think Black Bolt has enough arrows to go up against 7 of them, and then like 2 of them can create. One can create clones, the other one can create electronic. I mean, it's just too much of Black Bolt. He gonna run out of those eventually. Them arms gonna get tired.
Now, to give him some credit though, the powers of Anu with Black Bolt is kind of like a less strenuous Kaioken, right? So he's already, so for him, he's at peak levels of human physique, but then he's able to stack Anu on top of that. Right, so when he's peak physical physique, and then he uses like Anu to increase his speed, and he was able to again perceive bullets, and the bullet was already shot out, and he saw it coming out, ran over, deflected it, and dodged bullets on the way there essentially as well. So like speed wise and stuff like that with Anu, he can be a problem, but again, 7 people superpowered as well. That's going to be a lot, and I'm sure by the time we get to issue 20, their formation and their teamwork is insane at this point as well. So he's not here to defend himself. So I think, and chat can say this, you guys can say as well. I think we can agree that Delta Dogs would kind of win that bout. Yeah.
Now, quick question. What's Delta Dogs' durability feat? Like how strong are they? Like how much can they take hits?
So Quan, he showed back in like issue 4, you have this power pill that people can take that gives them extreme durability and extreme strength, where they can basically punch a car off its course or whatever, you know what I'm saying, like with ease. They can toss a car and stuff like that, right? He was able to take multiple blows, just have like a broken rib and some more stuff. But he was able to take multiple blows of that and not die. But of course, he was out of commission. But again, he wasn't. He didn't die. So so all of them have a certain length of durability and whatnot. And then also, I mean, even when it comes to Josh, he got hit by something that like made a big dent in a police car. It was like a spike ball that was in issue 15. He was able to take a hit like that, and again, these guys are all right. It's durability.
So I think in Black Bolt's case, it comes down to who strikes first. So basically, if I was Black Bolt, my first, I know I ain't gonna get all of them, but I gotta take 3 of them out from the rip before they see me. Then he has a better chance to kind of fight whoever's left, which he still might lose to overpower, but that would, if I was Black Bolt, that would probably be my setup to sneak in, take out a couple of y'all, and then deal with whatever I got to deal with after that.
Unfortunate thing, Black Bolt is a teacher as well. He's not coming. The disadvantage for him is he's going to see that they're younger, and he's not going to go all out.
No,
Like
Oh,
if
Black
we,
Ball got to go after one. You just need one, and the rest of them will stop. One. Like if I was Black Ball, go after the one that controls wind. That's
that's it.
He seems like the I'll go snatch him up, hold a gun to his head. All right, stop.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I wonder what's wrong. What's going on?
Everybody, cut it out now. You know what I'm saying, put your powers away.
Go back home. Go back home. This is
Lord. So I think we can safely say that Delta Dogs definitely have advantage. I think they're the fan favorite in winning that battle. Of course, it really, like we do, usually depends directly on the scenario, what have you. But I think 9 times out of 10 for sure, if not 10 out of 10, I think the Delta Dogs, their numbers, the formation that they have in the teamwork that they have, and by the time we get to issue 20, this is the disadvantage, I think, for Black Bow in that case. But without belaboring the point, we're going to move over to a battle from within, a civil war, mutiny in the Concrete Comics camp. We've got Absolver versus Akolyte. Treason. So what we're going to do, we're going to play Absolver's abilities. We got to hear about Akolyte. Let's see what Absolver can do.
Treason
has its angels, hell has its demons, oblivion has vengeance incarnate in the mezzo known as Absolver. Absolver is a mezzo from Oblivion. His suit is actually made from his own soul. Absolver is equipped with the usual set of super strength, durability, and the like, but what sets him apart is an ability known as Vanquish. Vanquish allows him to copy the skill sets, abilities, and knowledge of any living creature. The process of this ability is horrifying to the opponent that's getting attacked by it. Anyone attacked by Absolver's Vanquished ability has their soul torn from them and duplicated. They then witness their copied soul get devoured and the original thrown back into their body. The turmoil Absolver's opponent goes through definitely varies from opponent to opponent. In every instance this attack was used, the opponent was rendered unconscious. All right, let us know who you think can.
So the real question now is blow for blow, I don't know physically if Absolver's keeping up. But that Vanquish technique, I gotta know, Akolyte, is there anything that's defending you against an attack that attacks your very soul?
Very soul? Well, I'll let Jamil explain this, but it depends on distance. I think plays a major part in this. Akolyte is very strategic, being trained by the King Kalan himself, so he's not just gonna rush in there fighting like a fool. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it depends on it. What if they know each other? Random encounter. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, his cosmic awareness also is a major. Kind of like a spider sense almost. You know what I'm saying? People in the martial arts world know how to judge body movements and shoulder twitches. You might see something coming, you might get out the way, you know what I'm saying, early. So that's
okay.
Kind of how I see it, man.
Now, not to interrupt this, I do see that another one of the contestants has arrived. We'll allow him to introduce himself really quick, and then we're going to jump right back into the battle between Akolyte and
Treason.
What's going on, boss?
What's good?
Nothing much, boss. Nothing much. Let the people know who you are, your company, and the book and the contestants rather that you have in this Indie Versus matchup or Indie Breakdown.
Got it. My name is Calvin Chambers, creator of Icarus Metro Comics, also known as Icarus Studios, and the character that I'm bringing to light today is Jacob Bills from Ani Hunter. This character,
the one from Indie Breakdown. I'm sorry, the one that we did in the breakdown. The Paladins.
So we did a whole team.
We did the squad. We did the whole squad.
Okay.
So we'll play the video for you with all the character stuff, but we were just letting the people know.
I'm gonna just talk about because it's a big squad. So
I got you. I got you covered, bro.
Let's break down Simone Stone. She's basically a celestial.
I got you already. I got you already. I got a whole clip ready for you.
All right, cool.
So what we'll do, we're going to
formidable assembly of extraordinary paranormals have united to uphold order and confront the unknown in Icarus Metro City. Simone Stone, aka the author, her power derives from a mystical spellbook created by an ancient paranormal being named Wraith. This power resonates with her soul and allows her to summon objects and spirits to manipulate. Sarah, aka Juice, is the leader of the Paladins, and Sarah unlocked her abilities at a young age and is able to manipulate different forms of lightning. Melancholy has the ability to let off sonic blasts, even using this ability to fly in the air. Viscosity manipulates liquid metal, usually utilizes them as bladed weapons, but is also able to cover his body as well as cover others with his liquid metal. Catalyst is able to manipulate a special pink flame that's 10 times hotter than a regular flame. She has full mastery of the flame and is able to manifest it all throughout her body. Then we have Percy Net. He has the power to control cyberspace and manipulate dark energy, being able to travel through cyberspace, even pulling in a couple of defeated enemies into the realm as well. All right, let us know who you think can stand up to these characters.
Oh, we're gonna come right back for you really quick. Oh,
where did that video come from?
Huh? Ah! I thought I sent it to you, but we're gonna come back to you in a second. You figure out which character from the Indie Versus or Indie Breakdown that you want to go, or you want the Paladins to go against. We're gonna pick back up really quick with Akolyte versus Absolver. I want to build out the scenario for you guys. I'm gonna kind of steal from issue 2 of Akolyte really quick, where he was just kind of chilling and those bank robbers came out of nowhere and started doing stuff. Instead, imagine a random encounter. Absolver just got done taking out. I'll go ahead and steal from, I think it was issue 2 when he went to that church and was dropping some folks. So Akolyte sees that, or Dimitri Price sees that, and is like, nah, I need to go jump in and handle some business right quick. So in that type of random encounter, Jamel, what is Absolver's first move? Akolyte popping up on you.
Absolver, based on who he is now,
yeah,
he's not too worried about what Akolyte's trying to do or talking about. As you can see in issue 2, when he's going up against Repevlin, he's like, that ain't my business. So Akolyte would bring the fight on to Absolver, hence he will respond. And that's why I say Absolver would always have that edge, because Akolyte's not going to see the vanquish coming. It's not like you're going to see it. It's nothing you can prepare for. And it's more of a supernatural attack than it is cosmic, magical, or physical. So at that point, that's just what it is. And and if Absolver chooses to go blow for blow, obviously he would lose. I created him in such a way where he can get handled. But then because the question is, how do you stop a mezzo? How do you slow down a mezzo? How do you kill a mezzo? Hence, Akolyte doesn't know that or would be able to. And his character, his personality wouldn't allow him to even try to go that far. So that's why I always say it'll just be attrition at the end of the day. Absolver wins.
Let me ask you this, Lonzo.
I was going to say, depending on what he's talking about, unless Absolver uses Vanquish as his very first move, he in his issue 2, without giving away, he decided to throw fisticuffs with said individual. Was slightly injured, what I say. So I want to know, what is his durability? What can he take? Can he be knocked out? Can he be what happens to him if he gets hit too hard? You know what I'm saying? How does that work?
How does it work? So as of right now, Absolver, he feels pain. You hit him, you shoot him, you stab him, he gonna feel it. He does have a healing factor, which is shown.
But how durable is he?
Huh?
Can he get knocked out? How durable is he?
Nah. Not in the sense of knocked out, because I guess you guys look at verses totally different than me. I see supernatural is supernatural. When you talk about supernatural, you're dealing with literally life and death. Underneath that, you can say cosmic characters, and underneath cosmic is magical, and so on and so forth. That's why I say, in order to really slow down a mezzo or demons or angels in this universe, it takes a special supernatural thing that needs to be done.
I'm not saying taking him down. I'm just saying, can he be hurt?
I got 2 questions.
He gets hurt. That's why I said he gets hurt. So God level abilities, but very human in nature as far as how he reacts to pain and everything else. He doesn't get knocked out though.
So are you saying that essentially if he gets knocked out, it's still kind of a humanistic response, but in all actuality, when his powers are fully realized and he truly knows what he is, he won't have that same type of reaction.
Yeah, he won't.
Okay.
But
the first thing, yeah, okay.
But the thing is, like I said, at that point, it just boils down to attrition. You can have all the power in the world. Like if you don't know what's coming, you can't slow it down and you can't stop it. You know, obviously I wrote issue 2 because obviously there needs to be some sort of conflict. I don't want Absolver just to be OD.
Yeah,
but
no, that's fair.
In the sense, you know, I don't know if y'all ever saw the movie The Following. You know, when I wrote Absolver, I'm thinking about a character that always coming at you, no matter what. He would just come and keep coming and keep coming. So that oh my God, who said it? But so that's what the issue really boils down to.
Okay.
First and foremost, Lord,
if Akolyte and Absolver is fighting for X amount of time, you can't tell me at some point he doesn't get vanquished. And now Absolver is a better version.
So that actually leads into my question. I wanted to ask you, Lonzo, we've seen him use the Kokoro Force to be able to see things that are invisible. Would he be able to sense a spiritual attack of that caliber or of that nature?
So before I answer that, I feel like my competitor here is having too much time to explain, to build, instead of just rumbling. You know what I'm saying? I'm just rumbling here. I'm not over explaining what's going on here, what's happening. I see you just killed some innocent people in my eyes. I'm taking you out. And after seeing the scene that he did, what Absolver did to them people, he not playing with him. He not looking at him like no bank robber. Lloyd know what he did in issue 2. You see them people. He not playing with Absolver, bro. And Absolver has never faced anyone that hits as hard as Akolyte or moves as fast as that. He might not even see it. He might not even see Absolver coming. He might even see Akolyte coming. He just gonna be feeling. That's it. He gonna be being knocked through 3 different buildings before he realizes what's happening to him. He might be in space. He might be on the moon.
You cannot deny the fact that Akolyte is a Boy Scout. Okay. He is not. Akolyte is a Boy Scout, bro. Come on, dog. And let's not talk about this. Akolyte is a defensive fighter. I'm trying not to give away too much. If you saw the interview,
no, you're good. Whatever's in 1 through 3.
No,
listen, bro.
Listen,
go ahead.
I'm just saying you've been writing a whole essay of Absolver's essence. None of that matters. You said he feels pain like a human, right? He never been knocked out before.
Nah.
So his jaw gonna get hit like it's never been hit before. He's out of there, bro.
Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face.
That's it.
Listen,
he can do that vanquish all he wants.
I don't believe it's in Akolyte's personality to just go ahead and swing.
To call back to revamped issue 1, really showcased that Akolyte hasn't always been that calm, cool, collected character that we know. We know that he has had tendencies to kind of fly off the handle. So that I don't know, brother. I don't know.
Can we get like a segment of weaknesses?
Who, Akolyte? You let LaLonde tell it. You got no weakness.
When it comes to Akolyte, it's really his self-confidence, his self-awareness, slipping up, you know what I'm saying, getting caught off guard, not really being not taking light of the situation, kind of like he did in issue 3 when he was fighting the Children of Chaos. He thought they was light. He said, man, these cats, and then they can't really do nothing to me, which they were hitting him hard, but he had to be reminded, like, oh yeah, I gotta take these cats serious. But in the case of what he saw of Absolver done to these people, he's not gonna look at him like, let me play around with this dude. This boy brutally murdered people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he's not gonna be looking at Absolver like he would look at just some aliens that just landed on the planet.
Why? Because he saw some blood in the church. Akolyte wouldn't ask no questions.
Listen, you say Akolyte don't kill, right? But he obliterated
a whole fleet.
A fleet
of bad guys.
I like this, but we're gonna parking lot it for a second. We're gonna come back to Akolyte in a little bit. We're gonna move to the Paladins really quick. Calvin, who do you see the Paladins taking out here in the indie verses? Out of any characters, doesn't matter if they're here or not. Any character that was a part of it, who you got?
I feel like Simone Stone could probably take out everybody. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just
he didn't even say the whole squad. He said Simone Stone is dropping everybody.
Yeah, only because her power is more cosmic. Just the fact that her ability basically is not only magic and spell casting, which could also involve necromancy, bringing things back to life, but also bringing things to life from just drawings or pictures. So imagine her going to the pyramids and just bringing back all the hieroglyphics as her own personal army. She is good and she's not thinking of stuff like that, but what if she went to the dark side? What if, she just ended up just saying, hey, I don't like the way things are operating. Let me just reset the world, I feel like she has the power to do so.
So I'll build out a scenario really quick. The Paladins are called in to take out another paranormal threat.
Yeah.
Whichever character you choose, that's the threat. Everybody in character. Who you got and how they win it?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Against like Akolyte, man, a lot of my a lot of the Paladins are falling. I can see about 3 surviving. That's Simone, Juice, and probably Net. Percy.
I was gonna say Percy, right?
Yeah. Because I feel like they're the only ones who probably be capable of like taking hits like that. Because I want to say like a lot of them, they're based off of like street level type characters, but their powers are gradually built. You know what I mean? Like they're really like just like a person trying to train for whatever, or those old kung fu movies. Like there's no limit to their ability besides their physical limitations. So if they started training at like 12, 13 years old and they're 60 years old, I mean, I'm pretty sure they weren't sitting on their ass all day.
Right. So you said Akolyte? Is that the definitive? That's who we. They're coming for you today, sir.
With great power comes great.
Nah, at this point you're gonna get jumped though. I ain't gonna hold.
Yeah, because I mean, like you see a man coming from the sky with all these cosmic abilities. You're like, nah, like you gotta shut that down real quick.
Somebody asked just now, so she can create new forms as extensions of her powers?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, she can, yeah. But it's like I feel like a lot of the abilities that the Paladins have is based off their own creativity. Okay. So if their mind is limited, that limits their powers.
I ain't gonna lie, seeing the video, it made me think they would be really dope against Absolver, man. Or even Delta Dogs would kind of be lit because of the squad versus squad type of scenario. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
When you were talking about Homegirl and her abilities, I think Absolver would be a very unique person for them to go against, because he's the gray area in everything that they do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything they do is concentrated, it's boom, boom, but he operates in somewhere where they can't really truly comprehend.
Logic kind of goes out the window.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that'd be kind of fire.
That's true, because they necessarily don't call themselves heroes, and that's the interesting thing about it. Because like say for example, they're fighting this threat. They're not really worried about all. There are some people dedicated to worry about the other people in the city, falling off the buildings and stuff like that while they're fighting. But they're not necessarily worried about that because they're putting themselves forward to fight off the threat, but also they're sacrificing themselves in the process. So, they get knocked through a building and you get, the building's filled with 20,000 people. They don't care. They're going to just keep fighting and, jump back in like Spider-Man, let the government handle that, That's the least they can do, so.
Now, I do wish that we can use powers that wasn't in the comic books, because that's when we'll actually have a fighting chance. Against these cosmic foes, god dang it. Y'all battling moons while we up here just trying to clear the block. Yeah.
No,
dang.
but I kind of like that kind of the different aspects that everybody's on. Like, yeah, sure, maybe not fighting against Akolyte, but like when me and Tosh was talking, I think I may have talked to a couple of you. I was like, you know what? I would put the Paladins against Akolyte. Because with Percy being able to, one of the powers that you mentioned was that dark matter manipulation.
Yeah.
And if the Kokora force is pulling from dark matter, they're siphoning from the same thing, right? And then also with Percy being able to, and correct me if I'm wrong in regards to this, but he's able to pull people into cyberspace.
Yeah, he can. Yeah.
Right? So like the Paladins versus everybody on the list is going to be a problem, because how does one escape the cyberspace without Percy personally bringing you out,
Yep.
and so that's
any
tough.
That's the thing. Only him and his sister can like go in and out to cyberspace as well.
Never Vanquished. Absolver. Could Vanquished copy something of a technological nature?
No. If it's already a robot or whatever the case may be,
he's not a robot. Right, he's not a robot. He's a regular person.
Regular person.
Yeah.
So as long anything that is a spirit, has a spirit, basically, that's what the Vanquish copies. Obviously he can't copy. Vanquishing wouldn't work on Terminator. You understand what I'm saying?
Fair.
It would work on RoboCop. But he's not going to have robotic powers. He's just going to gain whatever knowledge Murphy had at that point, knowledge and experience. So the robotic attributes is not something he would just mimic.
So going back with the Paladins really quick then, because I know you picked Akolyte. Question for you in regards to the Paladins. Well, all of those powers are inherent to them, right? So I said going back to Akolyte, but in regards to Absolver, hypothetically, so like Simone Stone's ability is something that she internally just has, right? This isn't like an extra. This isn't an external force type thing.
Yes, okay. Yeah. So all the powers are all internal, whether or not it was hereditary or it was just just awakened one day. So it's almost like mutant abilities to an extent, but it's stemming from a different dimension.
Okay. I'm jotting notes down about these characters, man. Sidebar here. I love power scaling. I love versus matches. I love all of this other stuff, but there's just nothing in the indie community to really break down the characters and learn more about them in this manner. Sure. So that's kind of the inspiration for that. So Paladins versus Akolyte is going to be tough. The scenario really quick, and then we're going to move back to Akolyte versus Homeless Homeboy. Here's the scenario again. Paladins are pulling up on you, Akolyte. You're a random paranormal out in the city. Let's say you just ended up in Icarus Metro City. You just finished dealing with everything that you're dealing with. First trade is done. You pop up in Icarus Metro City, and they're like, they get sent out on that mission. They don't know what you are, and they're called to bring you in or stop you, whatever the case may be. What's your first move with a whole squad rolling up on you?
Akolyte likes to, see who he's dealing with. He'd probably make the Kokora sphere. Talk to them first, but what y'all want? Like, what's going on? See if they can get through the sphere. I don't know if they can get through the sphere. The one dude that does the dark matter might possibly be able to, but the other ones might not be able to get through the sphere.
So what exactly is a spear made of? Is it some energy? Is it
it's dark? It's dark matter. It's dark matter concentrated into an energy. You know what I'm saying? Like a construct that can't be breached in, kind of like Magneto's sphere. You know how he make the sphere and you can't really get in and get out. So that's kind of what that is. That's one of his biggest defensive moves he uses to protect people, save stuff, or just chill. But if they come on just straight aggressively, he's just gonna be he's gonna be analyzing, be pinging back and forth while they're shooting at him. He's gonna be moving, just watching them. And then he may just start picking them off, try to attack. I think the one thing you said that is a big advantage for you guys is that he is concerned about the people. So he's gonna, he see a building falling, he's gonna be fighting you and trying to help them at the same time. Could get distracted, could get hurt, you know what I'm saying? But his durability, I think, is what's really the biggest problem for a lot of people that challenge Akolyte, because you gotta hit really hard to like make to if you want to see a trickle of blood, you want to see something. It got to be somebody on that gladiator Silver Surfer level, like they got to hit, man.
Yeah.
Speed is very speed. I think is another thing that's going to be very difficult for y'all.
So so how fast is he? And
well,
question would be
he was able to dodge a Starfleet, multiple ships shooting at him. He was just jumping between the bullets.
He traverses the Milky Way in 2 days.
That's all I was about to say.
He's fast. But what is? I guess I meant to ask you this question first, Calvin. How are they mobilizing? Obviously, if they're the ones that were told that a new paranormal has arrived. Akolyte is the one that they're after. What is that squad's? What's their first move? How are they kind of tackling this? And once you respond, another contestant actually just popped up. We're gonna get him in here briefly, get him caught up really quick. But let us know how are they approaching Akolyte, and how are they gonna deal with what he can do?
So for one thing, the reason why I asked about the speed is because they're not gonna all approach him like the Teen Titans. There's some guys gonna look from afar and try to sneak up and try to do some things underhanded, like catalyst, matches, and viscosity. The liquid metal and the two fire users aren't going to fight you head on unless it's necessary. But Juice is, and she's very fast, basically the embodiment of Zeus, and has the power to manipulate electricity and alchemy. So I asked the second question. I was wondering how Akolyte did against alchemy.
Explain alchemy to me real fast.
Basically, like transmutations. One touch to your body can mutate you to, almost like. Have you watched Jujutsu Kaisen or From an Alchemist?
No, but I do know what you're saying. So when I would answer like this: Akolyte, his suit isn't a suit. That's the Kokoro force around him. He has a coat that you don't see on him. That's just there. So when you punch him, you may hit him, but it's like you're hitting like an invisible layer over him. So I guess that touch may not work. You know what I'm saying? Unless you catch Akolyte walking down the street, chilling without just regular hanging out.
Okay, so I guess the only way to beat him would probably be to catch him off guard.
You gotta catch him off guard. You gotta mess up the city. You gotta do some things, but then you gotta have and your characters have some powers that can constrain him and hold him down. He can be held. He can be put somewhere. He can be. So it really depends on how mean you would write this thing, man. For real. But it would be a really good fight. My only question for you is like how much durability do they have when it comes to getting hit as well? You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Well, I'll say there are some with less durability than the rest, but it would take a very long time. They'd probably give up, to be honest with you. They'd probably give up on the first try and try to go back to the drawing board.
Man, don't back away, bro.
No, but you know what? I was gonna say I respect that though, because you think about it, we look at these movies and stuff, right? And you're like, if your whole squad just got dropped, why are you gonna run up on this dude?
Yeah.
Why are you gonna run up on us?
Kelly said he did a video about that.
Time to escape. Let's figure out how to beat this guy. Because
So really quick. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm speaking out of turn.
Okay, I was gonna say. So the next contestant has showed up. Let's go ahead and get him to introduce himself really quick. Let us know, of course, who you are, your company, and the book or the character that was in the indie breakdown that you're bringing up today.
Hey guys, it's Ronnie Creates. I'm the creator of All Star, founder and CEO of Radical Comics, and yeah, so my character All Star, he's the first character in my universe, and his powers come from essentially the stars, hence his name being All Star. But
I actually got you, bro.
oh,
I got a video for you. I got you.
okay.
While we play it, though, what we're gonna do? Go ahead and pick one of the characters that you want All Star to fight against, and then we'll come back and discuss that in a moment.
All right.
Play the video.
Bathroom break. That's what it was.
Power of 1,000 stars, John Birmingham illuminates the night sky in the hearts of a world in need as All-Star. All-Star is connected to the Light Keeper. The Light Keeper is a celestial being that is the manifestation of light and is what granted All-Star his ability by placing a crystal into his nervous system. This being communicates with him, offering him guidance and has a strong sense of justice. All-Star can manipulate the fabric of stars throughout the galaxy, allowing him to harness energy from them. He possesses the ability to go supernova, emitting a controlled blast of energy that can be more powerful than nuclear bombs. All-Star can transition into a superhero form. This transformation occurs during critical moments such as protests or riots and indicates a connection between his powers and the need for intervention in challenging situations. The crystal connected to his nervous system enables him to regenerate. It constructs his amputated leg atom by atom, similar to process seen in characters like Dr. Manhattan. All right, end up to these characters.
Okay, that's heavy stuff. That's heavy. All-Star. Now, I would go back to Akolyte versus Homeless Homeboy, but honestly, there's no way. Homeless Homeboy, he's as strong as Spider-Man. But honestly, in regards to the training, I don't see any level of durability for Homeless Homeboy at his current level that's going to stand up to any version of Akolyte, unfortunately. So that's the only reason I'm like, we'll glaze over that. I know we have Instagram has this time constraint or what have you. So that's the only reason why I'm glazing over that. But All-Star, who in the Indie Breakdown Indie Versus do you see All-Star defeating?
So initially, I was thinking about Absolver.
Get him!
Yeah. I was thinking about Absolver.
Step up to the plate.
I would the move where he takes your soul. Like, does he have to touch you in order for it to work, or is it like he from a distance do the move? Like what? Like how does it work exactly?
It's very much a radius. So once you get caught up in the radius, that's how it works. So like everything's supernatural. If you're not tapped in, you just can't see it coming. And that's essentially why I say that's why it's such an OP move, because it's not something you can really prepare for. You can't see it, and that's all I want to say, I guess, about it, if that makes sense.
Does it also affect? I don't want to compare him to Ghost Rider or anything, but in terms of like affect certain people worse than others, like the penance stare, like does it affect like I guess evil people more than it affects good people, like, or is it like equally damaging?
It affects everybody uniquely different based on that person. But if you're a living being, creature, you have a spirit, a soul, had a soul, a walking soul, he can essentially copy you. And that's exactly how it works.
Gotcha. And so with the fight with the characters already knowing,
No. Random encounter.
Okay, random encounter. So I think with All-Star, if he was to get into the situation, I'd say he's pretty fast. He flies pretty fast. His speeds are similar to the speeds of like asteroids or shooting stars, and that's like 2,000 miles per hour. Like he can move really fast. Has cosmic supernova blast, so he can hit you from a distance if he needs to. And his supernova blasts are like so he pulls his powers from all the stars in space throughout the universe, and he can hit you with these blasts, but they can obliterate just about anything, unless you're like extremely durable. You guys know about supernovas? They're just bombs, and so he can channel all that power from multiple stars all at once. So if he hits you one of those shots, I mean that's. And you said he's just. I was watching earlier. You said that he can hurt like a regular person, right?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was saying. I said, can a Zolver be hurt like a regular person, right?
Yeah, he feels the pain like a regular person.
Okay, and I was saying that All Star has these supernova blasts that can basically rise like regular people or like people, and then the supernova blasts are just like more powerful than nuclear bombs because he's able to tap into multiple stars at once. So it's like that's a lot of energy that he could potentially hit him without even getting close to, punching him or anything like that. So
a lot of things about Absolver that has yet to be revealed is his suit is actually his soul.
Mm-hmm.
So respectfully, he feels it, but you can't destroy it. So he would feel essentially what that pain would bring to somebody if they can survive such a blast. But you're not going to just kill them because there's specific ways you have to kill a meso. In this universe, angels and demons alike. It's different. Like the only way to kill a spawn is by chopping off their head.
Right. Okay.
But when it comes to mesos and angels and demons in the concrete universe, it's not that simple as just chopping off a head. So that's what I'm trying to say. With Absolver, if you're more powerful, it just comes down to attrition. The weaker you are, the easier it is for Absolver. The more powerful you are, the harder it is for him. But can you last long enough before he could vanquish you or whatever the case may be? And this is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. He's built to survive unless you know how to kill him. So attrition will always be the factor. You can slow him down, but it's like that Jason. He's just gonna keep coming because he don't look for nobody. He's not gonna sit here and look for All-Star to fight.
I have a question, and just to let everybody know, we're close to the hour mark. I don't know if StreamYard or Instagram is going to automatically kick us out and all that other stuff. Everybody that's watching, first up, before it all clears away, anything like that, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys check out everybody that's on here really quick. If everybody could just say their socials just in case, and then we're going to jump back in because I do have a question for All-Star and Absolver in a second. But starting with Vaughn now, and then we'll go down the line. You're muted.
And there we go. All right. So you can check out Millennial Comics at millennialcomic.com with Delta Dogs and our other series called Kicks. We also are on YouTube, Millennial Comics. And also you can check us out on Instagram, millennial_comics93.
All right. Absolver.
My name is Jamil Leslie, writing creative Absolver. My IG is Absolver_the Wraith. You can catch me on the Facebook at Absolver and Jamil Leslie anywhere.
All-Star.
My name is Ronald Martin, aka Ronnie Creates. My Instagram is RONY Creates, and you can also check out my official Radical Comics page, Radical, but comics is spelled with a K. You can find me. You can find All-Star in those pages and stuff like that. So yeah.
Calvin.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Calvin Chambers, creator of Icarus Metro Comics, aka Icarus Studios. You can check us out at www.icarusmetrocomics.com. There we have Icarus Metro 1 and 2 and Ani Hunter. And yeah, follow us on all social media platforms.
Akolyte.
My name is Lonzo Starr, writer, creator of the legendary Akolyte, CEO and founder of Concrete Comics. You can follow me at Concrete Comics everywhere online, and Legend of Akolyte on Facebook, Instagram, and I believe Twitter as well.
Okay. And so yeah, and then I'll do ours really quick, and then we're gonna jump back in for as long as we can in regards to Absolver and All Star, and then I do want to wrap back around for a little bit of Acolyte versus the Paladins really quick. But of course, I'm Lloyd Jones with Midnight Comics, and you can find us everywhere as Midnight X Comics, except for YouTube and Facebook. And yeah, this is Indie Break. Well, this is the Indie versus Creator Clash, which is the next phase of our Indie Breakdown series. And if you guys are interested, anybody that's watched, I have seen several comments. We do have a sign-up form for season 2. We definitely have plenty of room. Well, we have about 4 spaces left. 4 spaces left for that season 2. So definitely sign up if you can. And then, of course, we'll take you through the whole Indie Breakdown process. And, of course, get you to the point where we do the Creator Clash and eventually write a scenario out for you in the Indie versus matchup. And we'll do a whole randomizer wheel and stuff like that. Neither here nor there. Moving right along really quick, I have a question for Absolver as it relates to the fight against All-Star. Because he gets his powers from the Lightkeeper. Now, it has given him the star that you see, that symbol. It's attached to his nervous system. But it does come from an external force. Is Absolver able to mimic those abilities?
If it's given to him from an external force and it's tied to him spiritually and its knowledge base, then yes. If that chest is like a link, then no. So, for example, the only reason why it'll work on a Doctor Strange type character is because doing the magic is knowledge. You got to know the know-how, the movements, and what you got to say. So he gains the knowledge of that. So Vanquish is not just I'm gonna copy your abilities, powers, and strength. There's also knowledge involved. Your instinct. Sure. If he vanquish a panther, he has the instincts and the mobility of a panther. All that, whatever makes you who you are, that's what he gains. So even if it's an external way that All-Star gets those powers, he's going to learn how you choose to fight and how you fight. It's your fears, your weaknesses, it's everything. He doesn't gain your weakness, but it's a learning mechanism.
Okay.
And that's what's tied to the Vanquish. So just a giveaway, Vanquish is basically a tool that God created for Adam. That's what gave him domain over everything. So that way he could learn all the creatures and everything that God created for this specific planet. So that Vanquish is stuffed with a bunch of that gems are stuffed with a bunch of unknown abilities and stuff. So, but that's essentially how it works. This
man really want that win, boy. He putting out everything on the table.
Yeah, y'all got Akolyte destroying me, but with peanuts, bro. I got to do something.
Right.
I can't go down 2.
You chose that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think that the crystal itself it's called the All-Strike crystal. I haven't given it a name yet. In the future, but it will be in the next book. But essentially the crystal, it's a link to the Lightkeeper, and he's able to tap into all of the stars in the universe. And in his early, so All-Star in his first book, he only has a connection to only a few stars, but the more he uses his powers, the stronger he gets in the connection to the stars, and he has the realization that he can essentially control and manipulate and absorb all the stars from even dark matter stars. And so with Absolver, I think what was I was going to connect it somehow, some way. So basically, I was going to say that he could probably learn All-Star's fighting style because John, he's actually a retired Marine from Marine combat, but in terms of the power, the raw power from the crystal and his powers from the stars, I don't think he can copy that because it's linked to the Lightkeeper, and it's not a part of his. Oh, I mean, I guess in a way it's a part of his essence, but like, I'd say he's not trying to. He wouldn't try to kill Absolver. He tried to incapacitate him, but he can continue his fight with Absolver because he's constantly got sources of energy to pull from, like all of the stars in the universe. Like that's a lot of energy. So the fight would probably just keep going on and on until somebody just decides there's no point.
Nah, if you get vanquished, you knocked out. The side effect.
Well, he could go. You can't. how can you if he can destroy the world with a supernova explosion? That's that's
But
eminent.
your character won't destroy the world. This is going down to Absolver versus Akolyte. All-Star cares more about the people around him than Absolver does. Absolver don't care about nobody. So All-Star would not go full power against Absolver. So and I'm not trying to say Absolver wins by beating up All-Star. I'm just saying if you get caught in the vanquish, you're knocked out. KO.
So to go back, Ronnie, in regards to what the vanquished ends up doing, basically he makes a copy of your soul, devours that, and your actual soul is witnessing this happen, right? So you see your soul get ripped out. He devours that soul, tosses your soul back in your body, and that kind of mental turmoil and also kind of a physical toil or mental toil rather as well, kind of causes anybody that's been hit with this in the past, in ways we've seen in the previous issues, they're just unconscious for any amount of time, which varies based on which I assume anyway. Jamel, correct me if I'm wrong.
At the end of the day,
based on the strength of the person in mental ability.
I mean, at the end of the day, your soul is leaving your body, so that's a death in a spiritual sense. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like you just get knocked out. Nah, it's a death.
Well,
you experience death, and it's going to be explained more, but it's literally a death because it's like you separating a piece of your soul, your essence, and then he gives it back. So I got that from people that that said they die and they laid on the they saw the light and all of that. That's where I got that whole concept of. Though I saw the light, then I came back to, or you hear the stories of people say I made it to heaven. I saw my grandmother. So essentially, you die, and then you come back. And that's not, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's.
So what do you?
But I'm talking too much. I'm sorry. I should.
What do you do who can say, okay, so he can go supernova and he can obliterate himself into nothing, but the thing is, because of his connection with the stars, he can also reconstruct himself from the energy that's because he's tied to the stars, and so like say soul is pulled from his body, like his essence is everywhere. It's like the way that you would have to defeat All-Star, kill All-Star, you have to get rid of the stars, and that's impossible. I don't think Absolver can get rid of it.
Which will parking lot right there. That I personally, and save this for a later battle, but I would love to see All-Star fight against Luna. All-Star connected to all the stars, Luna connected to all the moons. That would be a heavy battle right there. That would be epic. But I do want to revert back really quick, a little bit more about Paladins versus Akolyte. And then Delta Dogs really quick, because it's been a second. I think, just a real quick kind of jump in, I would have loved to see the Delta Dogs versus, say, a Deja Vu, with his precognition abilities and stuff like that. That would be really good. And I would love to see kind of, and if he's on Friday, obviously all you guys are invited back. I'll still send the link to everybody, but we'll have priority to the people that weren't here. But obviously you guys can come back on. But I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Of course, check out the video, check out all the other stuff, and we'll, dive into what he does. But I would love to see your thoughts on what a battle between Delta Dogs and Deja Vu looks like. But really quick, I do want to revisit the Paladin versus Akolyte because again, in regards to that cyberspace, PercyNet, the Kokora Force and that, I guess the question is, who has a stronger connection to dark matter, right? And why, I guess. So, Calvin, can you dive more into that ability in particular?
Only a little bit without spoiling the story, but
snap. Okay. Definitely don't do that.
Yeah, I would definitely say that it's hereditary. His ability to connect to dark matter is based off of the 7 deadly sins. Not the show or the anime or anything like that, but more so the embodiment of evil manifesting within himself, due to like greed, envy, lust, and all these other different sins. So, the more angry he is, or the more lustful or envious he is, the stronger that dark matter force. Because it's not more so. It's not something he starts off with, right? He starts off using the cybernetic abilities, right? But that's just more of a last resort, because it's not something that he wishes to embody per se.
Okay. So would Akolyte, now moving on to you really quick, would he be able to see? Well, we'll talk about the Kokora Force in a second, but in regards to the technical abilities of Percy and that cyberspace thing, would Akolyte be able to perceive such a thing? And then, of course, kind of a double-faceted question here: would anybody be able to break out of a cyberspace realm? Right? I'm thinking about Dragon Ball Z hyperbolic time chamber. Gotenks was able to scream, and Gotenks and Buu are able to scream their way out of it after the door was destroyed.
Yeah,
Is there a way to break out of cyberspace like that, or?
It works just like that. It works just like the hyperbolic time chamber. That's kind of a little bit subliminally. That's the inspiration for it.
Okay.
But it would just take a lot of charged up power.
Okay.
So to answer I guess the question you asked about who's more imbued in the dark matter.
Yes.
So where Akolyte isn't imbued with dark matter, he's imbued with Kokora. Kokora is the spark that created the Big Bang, and that's it's the essence of everything cosmic, but it charges the dark matter that we don't see. So potentially the guy that you have that has that dark matter in his DNA, Akolyte could potentially charge him and just expand him if you wanted to. If he was thinking on that type of way to how to beat this guy, that's something he could possibly do. Sort of like how a invisible woman, does what she does, whatever. So he the Kokora is, his father is the essence of the Kokora force. He's the physical embodiment of that element, and that's in Akolyte's DNA. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't just use the force; he actually is the force as well.
Jesus. Okay. That actually, yikes. That's even more intense than I initially thought. Obviously, I didn't get that at first. Okay. Holy crap. So then
I would say Akolyte is definitely taking the win in that case. Yeah. Because it's like, in that case, if he were to go full power, then I don't think the Paladins would be able to get that round 2.
Yeah, I guess it just it all depends. I think, and if we're just basing everything off of what we've seen in the issues, in issue 5, from issue 1 to issue 5, Akolyte's very physical. He's showing you physical abilities, but there's little instances where you see him and his father communicating from stars away, because the Kokora manifests everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like it intersects in the body, in the soul, in the spirit. So it's kind of in everything. So in that sense, Absolver would be real hyped to vanquish Akolyte, because it's imbued in everything. But at the same time, he wouldn't be hurt too long if, for instance, Absolver vanquished him. Because the Kokora also, it's a lot of elements to it, man. Really, it kind of depends on Akolyte, man. What kind of vibe you get him in, what kind of situation you put him in. Is the world crumbling underneath his feet while he's trying to fight you? He's going to be distracted. He's going to be trying to save people more than he's going to be trying to knock you out, most likely. Or he might be like, yo, I just got to get him out of here, man. Screw these people. You know what I'm saying? But he's usually more towards the joint of like just trying to be a righteous man. You know what I mean? But if it's on another world and killing isn't a bad thing, he don't mind.
Yeah, you gotta catch that man when he had the Christmas spirit in him. Got nigga.
So, not to keep everybody on all night, viewers and of course everyone that's here, guests as well. What I want is for anybody in the audience, and you guys included if you guys want. I wanted to have a poll, but I didn't do that. Got caught up during the day. But on that previous post, let us know who you think would win those individual battles. Just as a reminder, we had Delta Dogs versus Black Bow. which us on here agreed that Delta Dogs is probably going to take that win, but we definitely want to hear what you guys think. Absolver versus Akolyte, which Absolver versus anybody is really tough because, again, whether he's able to take your abilities or not, that the fact that nobody's just walked away from that ability and has ended up unconscious really kind of, at least sets the stage for that initial encounter to possibly go to Absolver. But again, I want to hear what you guys think. Absolver versus Akolyte. We had Akolyte versus Homeless Homeboy that we didn't dive too deeply into him. We will on Friday. We have Paladins versus Akolyte. And then we had All-Star versus Absolver. So everybody that's watching, of course, you guys as well, definitely comment on that previous post. Let us know what you guys think in regards to that. And tune in on Friday. Now, it's going to be a little bit later on Friday, and it won't be as long, I don't think. But tune in on Friday. We're going to be doing this again. We have several others that will be joining us. Hopefully, you guys are able to as well. We'll have Jamal Dabney, Blackbow, Jay Wynn from Ruling Hand, possibly Jyree Cecil for Deja Vu, all joining as well. So yeah, let us know if you will definitely tune into all that. And what I want to do before we sign out is just in case anybody missed it, everybody kind of go through you guys' social really quick where everybody can find you guys, and then we'll close it out.
Right.
Starting with Vaughn. Yep.
So I'm Vaughn Young from Millennial Comics, creator of the comic book series Delta Dogs. And Kicks, you can check us out at millennialcomic.com. Also, we are on Instagram, millennial_comics93. And you can also check us out on at YouTube, Millennial Comics.
All right. My name is Jamil Lessie, the writer and creator of Absolver and Concrete Comics. I'm currently 2-0, but Absolver _the race. You can find me on Facebook, Absolver Prince of the Oblivion. Again, you can also find me on Facebook, Jamil Lessie. Twitter the same, and 2-0. That's it.
2-0 with it. I see you.
Yeah. So I'm Ronald Martin, aka Ronnie Creates. Ronnie Creates, RONNY Creates on Instagram. Also Radical Comics, Radical Comics with a K on Instagram. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Calvin.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Calvin Chambers, creator of Icarus Metro and Ani Hunter. You can find us www.icarusmetrocomics.com. Check us out on social media, and hope to see you join our adventure today. Peace.
It's your boy Lonzo Starr, CEO and founder of Concrete Comics, writer, creator of the legendary Akolyte. I'm just here to spread peace and love, you know what I'm saying? Save the universe. And y'all can find me at concretecomics.com, Concrete Comics on IG, Twitter, and Facebook. And make sure you join our Patreon and dive more into the universe as well.
And of course, everybody, I'm Lloyd Jones, one half of Midnight Comics. This is Indie Breakdown. You guys can find us at Midnight X Comics everywhere except for Facebook and YouTube. And yeah, again, this is Indie Breakdown, well, Indie Versus Creator Clash. We will be coming back on Friday with the rest of the contestants. And then we'll also be revealing the actual Indie Versus matchup that we did a randomizer wheel for. Next time around, you guys will all be a part of that randomizer wheel. We'll just kind of talk trash and figure out who's who and who's going against each other and stuff like that. Really build the excitement. But we do have those contestants already. We're going to reveal who they are Friday. And then that whole scenario written out and will be available for you guys to check out on midnightcomics.org the following morning. So definitely tune into that. And that's all we got for today. Remember, until next time, everybody, midnight is coming. And thank you all for tuning in to the first ever Indie Versus Creator Clash. Anyway, again, Lloyd Jones, everybody have a good night.